tortured him. I rejected him.
In today's video, we're going to be talking about the new Chris Watts documentary or movie, whatever you guys would call it, that it just aired on Netflix on September 30th, 2020. In this video, we are going to be talking about my opinions on things that I learned, things that I saw. We're also going to be talking about how Chris Watts felt about the movie himself, and also where Nicole is now. I do want to let you guys know that this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody, everywhere, in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. Good morning, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Christina and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will subscribe, stick around, take a chance on hearing some things that I have to say. And if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know, y'all are my babies. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. So the Netflix show with Chris Watts and Shannan, we're going to get into a lot of the things today, a lot of them. Now, I originally was not super duper excited about watching this. I kind of felt like we're beating a dead horse at this point. I feel like we've seen everything that we could see. We've read everything that we could read, right? Like we're like, okay, we know the whole spiel. But a lot of people were requesting that I watch it, and including one of my very good friends who said that it does show a different side of things. So I'm like, okay. I'm going to just kind of try to start at the beginning and go through different things of my opinion. If you're here, you probably know the story. We're going to just touch on different things that I found was interesting, important. Now, my husband Jeremy knew this story because I told it to him, but he hadn't watched like a real documentary or a show. So even he was watching this with me. We watched it together and he was like, the whole time, you know, like he's a total dad, and was like horrified by the things that like we all feel, right? Like most of us feel, I hope. So I wanted to start off by saying that this documentary or this movie, to me, really showed Shannan's side. A lot of the other ones are more catered towards, you know, his side and what he was thinking, or maybe even Nicole, because she's like the mysterious other woman in this situation. But this really kind of showed Shannan's side, which broke my heart all over again. And it really showed that she was fighting for her marriage. Because of all the text messages and the videos, like they really just showed this side of her fighting for her marriage. Now, I think we all know, if we've watched any of this, Shannan had a very strong personality in the relationship. She even admitted it in videos on Facebook that she was the dominant one in the relationship. Some people later tried to say that she was a narcissist and that she was overbearing with him. And she may have been at times. Like, I'm a very strong personality too. If any of you guys watch videos with me and my husband, I'm the same way. I'm very assertive. I'm a go-getter. I'm a confident woman. I like what I like. I do what I do, and that's just what it is, right? But also, you know, there's compromise too, and you don't see the compromise that I'm sure she made with him at points. You know, we don't know how much. We all have room to grow, but you know, so I really hated that in the past that tried to get twisted, because a lot of us as women are dominant, and then you have relationships where the men are dominant. There's usually always, you can't have two dominant personalities in a relationship, like where they're both like bang, bang, bang. There's typically one person that's chill, and there's one person that's more of a kind of the leader in the relationship with certain things. I mean, when it comes to doing like yard work and fixing a truck or a car or climbing up in the attic or fixing some electrical work, baby, I am definitely not the dominant one. I'm like, help me. I want to say this little part right here too, because I want to get this out of the way, because I know that you guys are probably going to say, this is so unimportant, Christina. Why do you care about this? But it got me. If you guys watch in this show, or if you've seen different clips, when the investigators go into the house and they're actually taking fingerprints and stuff, when they already have Chris Watts, you know, taken into custody, the dog is going crazy. Like they have a little, like, I don't know if it's like a little wiener dog or, a little Dachshund or Dachshund or however you say the word. But it's like, bark, 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 and it looks so scared. And my heart broke for the dog. Okay. Y'all come for me, whatever. But like, because you can't speak to the dog and let the dog know, like, listen, this is what's going on. One minute it's all calm and the dog has its little girls that play with them and love on them, probably kiss them on the head, rub its belly, give it treats, and, Shannan and the dad, jumps up on the couch, and the next minute, like, it's all chaos, and just the dog, like, I just felt so bad for the dog, and I hope somebody got the dog. Okay, all right, I got that out of the way. Let's keep going. All right, next on my notes. It really showed how Shannan spent, like, at 25 years old, she had worked so hard and saved her money and built her first home. I thought that was so cool. That's a huge accomplishment. Good for her. I know that later on, after she had been killed, they tried to twist that to she was so materialistic and like she had to have this big home. Like, so what? Go off, do your thing. I have friends, very close friends of mine, that really value like designer and nice things. And I think that's awesome. I like nice things too. I mean, I don't, it's whatever, but like, there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's got their own thing. And she worked her butt off and got her house and built at 25. If my kids do that, I will be cheering them on. I'll be so happy for them. So anyways, yes, keep on moving here. They started showing videos of Shannan, talking to her Facebook groups and her Facebook lives and stuff, talking about how she got sick and she was diagnosed with lupus and she was losing her hair. And, they kind of play the sweet music in the background to get your emotions going. And then she talks about how she met Chris on Facebook, and I don't know, just kind of like, it gets you in the gut because you know where the story's going, right? Then they're showing videos of her and him at the wedding, which he looked like a totally different person back then, but we're going to get to that a little bit later, okay? The Chris that she married was not the Chris, but anyways. Or was it? Or who? Oh, what? Okay, moving on. And Shannan's dad at the wedding literally says, like, I could not ask for a better man for Shannan. Like, oh my gosh. Ugh. And it just reminded me of like in the court, if you guys saw when he was speaking in the court, it wasn't, I don't think they showed this in this video, but I saw it at his sentencing, and Shannan's dad said, I trusted you to like love them and take care of my daughter and my granddaughters. I did not trust you to kill them.
I trusted you to take care of them, not kill them. And they also trusted you. The heartless monster.
Another thing about this whole case, but especially in this movie, documentary, I'm start calling it a movie, whatever, is it really, really showed how much those baby girls, CeeCee and Bella, loved their daddy. They were daddy's girls. Now, that doesn't mean they weren't mama's girls too, but man, it just showed, I mean, Shannan took so many videos of him just being the perfect, so engaging with them, playing with them. They'd be at a restaurant and one of his baby girls is laying on his chest sleeping, and, like he's playing Barbies with them and teacups with them and running around outside with them and has them on his shoulders and has them in his arms, and like a very, very hands-on, loving relationship with them two baby girls. And them girls, they trusted their daddy. You know what I mean? It wasn't that atmosphere when daddy walks into the room like, oh gosh, it was daddy. Like, oh man. Another thing that I wanted to point out was, if you notice, whenever the text messages, okay, like supposedly Chris Watts was a very like quiet, shy, timid, or whatever dude all up until this whole situation happened, right? When the mask slipped. That's another video. But very shy, quiet, and timid dude. And wasn't a man of a lot of words, just kind of go with the flow, easygoing. But the text messages between him and her, when she went on that trip, for weeks with her friend right before this whole incident happened, and Shannan was like messaging him, she's like, you have not called to check on the girls. You have not texted. You guys gotta imagine, like, yeah, I know, people get caught up. Maybe they're busy with work or whatever. This is in Shannan's mind. This is his whole life, right? Like he comes home, he has his wife, his girls, she cooks dinner for him, she does all this, whatever. They live in a home together. He goes to work, he comes home. This is what's in her mind. What else does he have to do other than go to the gym, come home, whatever, than to check on his girls, to even text, say, hey, how are the girls doing? One of his baby girls had a birthday party up there, 3 years old, and he never, so in her mind, she's like, what are you doing, right? And every time he texts her back, it's like this over-the-top response, like using words like extremely, and I miss you guys tons, I love you guys tons, and I'm extremely sorry, I'm so sorry. It's like overcompensating in the text messages for what he knew that he was doing at home, which was having an affair. And a woman's intuition, we know when something's wrong. And even Shannan's friends were trying to tell her, like, no, he would never do that, he loves you. And even though she had no proof, a woman's intuition, we know when something's up. And she knew. It's just so hard to watch, and then watch his text messages of like how he was just trying to convince her that there was nothing going on when it obviously was. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm going to say this, and this is going to offend some people, but Chris Watts had to be like literally like the dumbest, the things that he did, in the interviews or in the investigations and the interrogations in this movie, they had him describing the girls, like how tall were they, what color were their hair, what color were their eyes, what they look like. And so they were playing his voice describing them, but showing these like gorgeous pictures of the baby girls. And I couldn't take it. Just looking at these little girls, like, oh my gosh, you guys, how could you? How could you? And that was one of the things that my husband said too. Like, my husband was saying, you can get into a passion, and this is not making any excuse. It's never an excuse to hurt, attack, hit, abuse, emotionally, physically, anything, anybody, ever. I'm not saying that, ever. But like, if you're trying to make sense of things and you're like, okay, there's a man, it's a passion, a fit of rage. He loses his cool. He does something stupid. But those baby girls, like a monster. Another thing that really stood out to me in this movie was his smirk, the little smirk he had when he was doing the interview, on his front porch for the news. And he was just like so unconcerned and just smirked and cool, calm, and collective. Let me tell you something. I'd have been like, me and my husband was talking about this last night. I think I've told you guys this in other videos. One time my husband was working out of town, and I knew he had to go on like this like island thing. And we had to take a boat there with his work, and it was a dangerous place, and it's kind of hard to describe like all the stuff that I knew about this place or whatever, and whatever. So he gets there, and then I don't hear from him for like 8 hours, and I'm losing my mind. My mind is going a million, like, oh my gosh, did a pirate take over the ship? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm calling his mom. I'm like, should I call the police? Like, I'm so nervous. And his mom's like, just give it a little bit of time. Come to find out, there was actually no cell service on that little island, but I'm losing my dog on mine. I'm ready to call the cops, and he's in another state, and I'm like ready to go like on a helicopter and like flying around and put the caution tape and like fingerprint people and take interviews, and that's 8 hours. Okay. So I just can't imagine. And that's just him. That ain't even my kids. Don't even get my kids involved. That's going to be a whole nother issue, brothers and sisters. They're going to have to put me in a straight jacket, because I'm going to be trying to like investigate and interrogate everybody, baby. And so, but I know that my personality isn't everybody's personalities, but the smirk just make me sick to my stomach. Am I the only one? Did anybody see, if you guys watch this, if you did not watch it, they really showed pictures, and they showed a video that I had never seen before of Chris, of him before like the weight loss and the glow up, I guess you would say. And listen, whether you got a little thickness on you, baby, or you don't, you beautiful, okay? You fine, you beautiful. But we talking about Chris Watts, and we ain't putting him in this category at this moment. But they showed his video and he looked like a totally different person. And I'm not even talking about the physical, like the no confidence, and he was kind of squirmy, and he had his little glasses on, which he still wears. And, he had his little thick neck or whatever, and you could tell there was it's just a totally different person. And then now he's done had this glow up, which, he's all buff and taking pictures with his shirt off, and he's all chiseled and, doing his push-ups. And it just really showed the woman that she married and then the man that she had helped him become in a physical aspect. And he just, I don't know, you guys. Let's talk about the polygraph tests and the polygraph investigator in this. That woman just played him like a fiddle. And it was honestly, for somebody like me, and maybe even y'all, so obvious to watch what she was doing to him. She was making him feel comfortable. She was good at what she did. But he is such a... He didn't even see it. She calls him in. She's like, now Chris, that you failed the poly. Now we both know. We all know. You knew when you were coming in here that you were going to fail this polygraph test. And you knew that when you came in here that you were going to want to tell us the truth about what happened, because you're not a bad person. You're a good person, and it's eating you up inside, and we're here for you. I'm paraphrasing it. And he's just and then she feeds him the lines, and you guys know this, where she goes, did Shannan do something to those girls, and you had to, you had to do something to Shannan because she hurt you? Women are crazy. Women do crazy things. We know what kind of person Shannan was. You can tell us. And he just goes right on along, calls his dad in, and tells his dad the story she had just fed him. They are sitting back, probably, the detectives and the investigators, off just watching the video they were good, man. They are, and he just, I don't understand it. None of it really makes sense. None of it really makes sense when you think about it. When you think about the, like I said earlier, maybe in a freak of passion, Shannan tells him he's never going to see the girls again, according to what he says. Who knows if that's what she even said, but if she said it, whatever. Okay. People say stupid stuff all the time, but maybe in a freak of passion, he strangles her, he does whatever. But the girls, that still doesn't make any sense. I know that everybody's saying that he wanted a new life. He wanted to have his own, a new life with Nicole, but that don't even make no sense. How do you think you're going to just... They really went into how people attacked Shannan's family. I mean, people that were on certain talk shows were talking about Shannan, and they really rolled with his first story of, Shannan did something to the girls and he did something to Shannan. And that was, hard to see too. When the family spoke in court, they talked about how Bella sung "Daddy, You Are My Hero" to him.
My daddy is a hero. He helps me grow up strong. He helped me snuggle too. He reads me books. He ties my shoes. If you're a hero, blue and blue, my daddy, I love you.
And then the judge said that in all of his many years and thousands of sentencings that he had done, that this was the most inhumane and disgusting and basically devastating case or thing that he had ever seen, which says a lot when you're a judge and you see tons of cases. Let's talk first about where Nicole is. So I'm going to just read you guys this article that came out, and it just basically says that Nicole cooperated with the police during the investigation into the Watts family murders. She later gave an interview saying that, "I don't think there's a logical explanation for what he did. It is a senseless act and it is horrific." As for now, it's unclear where she is. Before Nicole disappeared, she searched online for, "Did people hate Amber Fry?" That is still so bizarre to me. That is so bizarre. What do you guys think about that? Is that a normal thought pattern? Is that, on August 19th of 2018, referring to the woman who had an affair with the infamous killer Scott Peterson, and I say killer because you guys know that he's going through that whole spiel again now too, who allegedly murdered his wife Lacey Peterson and their unborn child in 2002. Nicole also searched for information on Fry's book deal and her net worth. That is so disgusting and creepy. You know what I mean? Like, who does that? Who you have literally been sleeping with a murderer that murdered his whole entire family, and you're checking out somebody's net worth and book deal? Like, there are some internet rumors that Nicole is in witness protection program, but that is unconfirmed. Of course it's unconfirmed, because if she was in the witness protection program, I don't think that they would confirm that. Maybe they would. You guys let me know down below. Nicole did say to police that she would not be surprised if it's going to be hard to go out in public sometimes for a couple of years. Baby, I think it's going to be for a lot longer than a couple years. It's been a couple years, and people are still very, very much talking about this, and it just kind of reminds me of the whole Casey Anthony thing, where Casey Anthony, unless she has literally had plastic surgery and reconstructed her face, because it's going to take more than a new hairstyle, people remember the Casey Anthony, okay? Y'all do. I do, right? Okay. Ultimately, it is hard to know what happened to Nicole, but one thing seems to be clear. She wants to be left alone. I'm surprised she didn't, come out with a book or something, though. She could have, and she may still. You never know. She may still. Will we believe, it? I don't know. If Nicole came out with a book, would you buy it? Would you buy it? All right, now let's talk about what Chris Watts had to say. I know that he said he was triggered, allegedly, by the show. He can't see it, and he'll probably never see it, says the source, who has regular contact with the 35-year-old Watts in prison. He's curious about it, but he hates even knowing that his texts are out there for the public to read. It brings back awful memories of 2018 for him. Let me stop you guys right there. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that I've been to prison. I've done time in prison. I've done time in solitary confinement. And I have told y'all, and even me, and the things that I did, the regrets that you think about when you're in prison, the things that play over and over in your mind, they're going to play over and over and over in his mind. And I know that a lot of you guys are like, oh, I don't feel sorry for him. Good. He needs to think about it. Well, if you feel like that, then you're getting exactly what you want, because that is exactly what's going to happen. And it will probably never go away. And him knowing, While Watts has not seen the documentary, the source tells people that employees in the prison have been waiting to watch the 83-minute film. Now, y'all think about that. The employees, my correctional officers out there, y'all know, okay? How awkward is that too for Chris Watts being in prison, okay? I'm not saying feel sorry for him, anything. Y'all don't come for me. I'm just saying, think about that. He knows all of the correctional officers are going to be seeing intimate details of his. He probably don't even remember some of these things, because it's so clouded with all of the other stuff. There's a lot of curiosity about him in prison. Oh, I'm sure, because I'm sure in prison, he is back to being the charming Chris Watts, and people are wondering what really happened. He's the most high-profile inmate, and what he did is incomprehensible, so everyone wants to know more about the case. Chris knows that every part of his life is out there for public consumption. He hates it. It makes him feel a lot of shame, but he also knows that that's what he brought upon himself. Alrighty, so that is what's going on with Nicole. Not much more. And that's what's going on with Chris. No, he has not seen the documentary, but he knows about it. But I don't even think let me give you guys an example. When you go to a birthday party or something, and then later on somebody posts 50 pictures on social media, and you're looking through them and you oh my gosh, there's me leaning over, at the hot dog plate. All right, wait, there's me for the third time getting another cupcake. You know what I mean? Like, and then you, like, he doesn't even really remember. He don't even know all the stuff, like these details. And so what do you guys think? Did you watch it? How do you feel? Are you over the Chris Watts situation? Are you hoping one day that he does a tell-all, which, you know, allegedly he's already done a tell-all, but so many people think that that's not all the truth, the whole truth. Do you think Nicole will ever put a book out? You know, she can put a book out without putting herself out there. You know, would that ever happen? A tell-all from her? If she did, would you buy it? Would you read it? Would you believe it? That's what I want to know. So, all right, my loves. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. As always, please do not forget to like it. It's a free way that you can help your girl out. And until next time, I love you guys so very much. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Love you guys. Bye.